once I found opiates, I found that, like, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. So just to give you guys a little bit of insight on what it's like for a drug addict to go through with this heroin addiction, it's literally like finding, gold. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm going to do whatever I can to get this drug. I have snuck into my father's room while he was sleeping, stole money out of his wallet, out of his pants. I've taken countless things from my house, from my sisters, my brothers, on them. Family heirlooms that'll never come back. I've done things that I don't wish on my worst enemies when I was in the grips of my addiction. By the time I was 21, I went through 14 treatment centers. And I can't tell you, for a drug addict, I can't put a time or a place, or I can't judge a situation or anything on when this person's going to get sober. If someone would have given up on me after my 10th treatment center, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be advocating in the Lehigh Valley for people to get the help that they need. When I got there, it was really funny. I arrived at this treatment center, and I asked the guy that runs it. I was like, listen, man, I've been through 13 treatment centers, dude. Like, what are you going to do for me that the other 13 haven't? I just don't know, because at this point I was lost, and I just don't really care. And he told me, well, with that attitude, I'm not going to be able to do anything, so you should probably just leave. And that resonated with me, because I can do everything I can in my power to help somebody, but unless they want it, or unless they find it inside of them to actually go out and do it, it's not going to happen.
If somebody would have said to me some years ago, would I be standing before a room full of more than 100 people and talking about my daughter, who's a heroin addict, I would have told you you're out of your mind. I would have told you you were crazy. No way would something like that touch my family, but how ignorant I was back then. And in 2010, I thought I would lose my daughter to this disease. But I started to get educated at that point. I was told I needed counseling. I was told that this was a family disease. I didn't think it was a disease. I thought it was a moral failing. I thought I failed as a parent. I thought I did something obviously wrong. How did my daughter end up being a heroin addict? I did nothing wrong. I was a good parent. I'm still a good parent. But I didn't know that it was a disease, and I didn't know how it was going to affect my daughter when she was first introduced to medication of Xanax, which is highly addictive.
It's not only a law enforcement issue, it's of course a societal issue, because drugs and overdoses are killing an awful lot of young people and a lot of wasted lives, some young and some older. There have been 5 overdose deaths over the last few days in Lehigh County alone. And in last year, I believe that there were 117 drug-related overdose deaths. Despite our best efforts, and despite the best efforts of the police departments, we're not winning the war on drugs. And we're never going to win the war on drugs, because the stakes are too high. As long as you've got a supply of drugs, and as long as you've got that kind of profit motive, you're going to have drugs, and we can't do enough from a law enforcement standpoint to stem the tide.